Hi mamas, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Szilvia. I am your postpartum recovery trainer and coach. I decided to do a Q&A today. I'm very happy that we are more and more on this channel and more of you are tuning into my channel to view the Diastasis Recti videos and start your postpartum recovery journey. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. So let's see that Q&A from the most frequently asked questions about Diastasis Recti. Got a couple of questions today on my phone here that I'm going to read out loud and answer them to you. First question that I get very often from you is, can I do these exercises every day? How often should I do these exercises? I post every week a Diastasis Recti recovery video on my channel. These exercises are core focused exercises targeting the transverse abdominis muscle, so your inner core, deep core muscles. And they are safe to do these every day if you want. Of course, the more often you can do these exercises, your recovery or the healing journey of the diastasis can be faster as well. But it also depends on several other factors. So yes, you can do these every day, these exercises, if you want or if you have the time. I would actually recommend you to do these exercises around 4 to 5 times in a week. For 5 to 10 minutes. All of my videos are between the 5 to 10 minutes. I think maybe I have one video that is around the 15. Question number 2. My Diastasis Recti is not going away. Help me. Can you help me with my Diastasis Recti? Sure, I can help you with your Diastasis Recti. I have a bunch of videos on my channel. You can check these videos out. I will link a couple of beginner videos, because I believe when you are starting your healing journey, first you really have to start at the beginning, the basic level, the basic exercises first, which is the TVA breathing. So the first step you have to do is master the transverse abdominis breathing technique, so the deep core breathing first. This breathing technique is going to teach you to engage your core and how to engage your core. That is why is the very first step that you should be taking, and that is why is the most important thing to start with. Once you're mastering this breathing technique, then you can also go to the next exercises and you will be able to perform them better and with a better form as well. Question number 3. I am doing your Diastasis Recti exercises and lie down on the ground, but my belly is not getting flat. What to do? I remember this question and I also answered it in very detail, but I'm going to do it again, of course. So yeah, this question is also connected to the previous one when you were asking me to help you with your Diastasis Recti. Obviously, you have to start at the beginning again. If you are lying down on the ground and your belly is not trying to go inwards, as I mentioned, always to flatten out your belly when you are lying down, and you are still coning or doming when you are doing the exercises, first thing that comes to my mind, it can be because you are lifting your head up. If you lift your head up, then it's more likely that you will be coning, especially at the beginning. So put your head back down on the ground. Other thing, when you are lifting your legs up in certain exercises, it can also be that you're more likely to cone. Put your leg also down bent on the ground, and also your head. Lie down everything on the ground and do those kind of exercises first that are completely lie down exercises, no lifting of the leg. So not like the leg drops or toe tap exercises that I used to show, which are also beginner exercises. But if you are coning from these, even from these, then you must start again at the beginning, which is the TVA breathing, the diaphragmatic breathing, what you have to start out with, and you have to start to master this breathing technique, because this will help you to engage your core, learn to engage your core. Until you are not mastering this breathing technique, you might not be able to do and master the other exercises either, and you won't be able to engage your core either with the following exercises. So this is number 1 to start out. Once this goes well, I have a couple of other even more beginner exercises that you can do. I will link them below, which are but just simply lying down and performing exercises in this position. So if you are coning or doming, I would start out in this position. Question 4, how can I get the gap heal faster? So the question is how you can heal faster. Obviously, you have to make sure that you are performing the exercises with the correct form and frequently, consistently. So if you are consistently doing for every week 4 or 5 times consistently for like 2 months, you should be able to see some result from that. But it can also be different for everyone again. So our healing journey postpartum is all different for all of us. So we are not the same, our genetics are not the same, our body's not the same, our circumstances, everything, our weight, all can be really different and varies. That's why I can't really say for someone it might take for a year. So it all depends on different levels, different factors and circumstances and your life and how much you are doing. But I would say, yeah, in 2 months you should be able to see results, maybe not to completely close the gap, but the gap to be closer to each other than before. Question number 5. I am after a year but still have a 3-finger gap. Do these exercises help? These Diastasis Recti exercises are for everyone. Some of the moms some of the mothers out there in postpartum only realize they have actually Diastasis Recti 6 months, 1 year, or even 2 years, or even more after the pregnancy. It doesn't matter in which stage or how far after the pregnancy you are, you can start doing these exercises anytime. These exercises are going to strengthen the core. Once you start these beginner exercises to strengthen your core will be stronger, which will pull back together the rectus abdominis, the 2 line of abs, closer together, and this is how you will heal. So yeah, you can start out anytime, 1 year, 3 year, 4 year after pregnancy, it doesn't matter. The goal is to strengthen your core. Question number 6. Workouts are looking great. Can you give a diet cycle? So I understand that you also need a diet cycle. Currently, I'm not posting too many videos about food or diet. I have a couple of them on my Instagram. I have also available meal plans on my website. I'll link them below. And perhaps I have a few videos about diet and weight loss, if that's what you are interested in. I will link them below in the description, but mostly on my website you will find meal plans that you can use. They are not really pricey, you can have a look. Question number 7. Do you need to engage your core during the entire set, or can you relax when transitioning between the exercises? Of course you can relax when transitioning between the exercises. The important part, I say always, to engage the core while you are performing that specific set. Once the set is over, just relax and then engage your core again at the next set. Question number 8. Can I start after giving birth, or do I have to wait until 6 weeks? Most commonly I would say you have to start around the 6 weeks mark or when your doctor approves you for workout. But actually there are some exercises that are very useful already to start out after birth, or like a week to 10 days after birth. First of them is the diaphragmatic breathing that you can start out already a couple of days after birth. This is just a simple breathing technique to engage your core, to learn to engage your core. That's very useful to start already after a few days after delivery, because if you start out with this one, it will already help you. So when you are getting to the 6 weeks mark, your diastasis might be already getting closer. This will help you to already get closer, closing the gap. Apart of this, there are also a couple of other exercises that are completely gentle, and you can even do them lying on the bed. I have a postpartum bed rest workout video I added on my channel a month or 2 months ago, and I have the same exercises added into beginner core recovery as a beginner core recovery video. The same ones without the bed. Once I show them to you on the bed, how you can perform them while just resting and having your baby around. Completely safe. You can also do these a couple of days or week after birth. These are completely safe. It's not gonna do to you anything. In case of C-section, you can also do the breathing technique, of course. That's not gonna do any harm. So the breathing technique is just do the diaphragmatic breathing technique if you had a C-section, but with any other exercises, I would recommend to wait until the doctor is clearing you for workout. Question number 9. How many days until it shows results? I think there was a similar question actually before. How long, until it closes? Well, it varies. It varies really per person. So, and it varies on your circumstances, your life circumstances, your activity levels, how many times you are doing them, if you are consistent enough, if you are doing them enough 4 or 5 times a week, or you don't have time that much, you do it less often. So it all depends. What I said, if you are consistent, if you are doing the right form and you're doing them 4 or 5 times a week, then you may see results already after 2 months, 2 to 3 months. Please bear in mind that a one finger gap about, so like this big gap, it might be staying there forever. So that might never close completely. So you may still always have a half centimeter or 1 centimeter, one finger gap that is left there, especially if you had 2 or more pregnancies. That's completely normal. That's just how it is. But apart of that, you should see your belly pouch disappearing, and if that's the only thing that you have, that little gap that it didn't close completely after you had birth, especially 2 or more, then it's fine. That doesn't really matter. And the last question I had time for today: see finger gap and knuckle depth around belly button, but not above. What does it mean? It can mean that your core is still kind of weak, so you still need some strengthening to your core. Because when you check for yourself if you have diastasis recti and it feels squishy or shallow, the depth, so it's like kind of, you can press it inside and kind of like softish, squishy, or then your core is still weak. That's what it can mean. Either you have only around the navel a diastasis recti and not above, so it's possible that your diastasis is not open everywhere. For some people it's open more up, for some people it's open more down. I think the more down around the navel is the more common, so it can mean that you still have diastasis but only on your lower abdomen and not in the upper abdomen, and your core is weak, you still need more strengthening. Well, that was it about today. Thank you for watching me today, and please make sure you are commenting your questions so I can do another Q&A as well. Thank you for supporting me and letting me grow my channel. Please subscribe for future videos. Cheers!